back to the channel. In today's adventure, we're off to Central Oregon to take a little journey around there to see what we can find. The 3 months we spent there was actually incredible. Mainly lava and volcano focused, because that's something as Floridians we've never seen before. So that was something really interesting to us. We actually stayed on a campground that was inside of a caldera, which is basically what used to be a mountain. The center of it collapsed as the volcano erupted, making the cinder cone, which is all that's left. And there was 2 lakes that filled up as part of the caldera. There was East Lake, which is the campground that we were on. The campground was called Cinder Hill, and then there was also Palina Lake. And we take a journey up to Palina Peak, which is the tallest point in the caldera, just about 8,000 feet, and it's actually the tallest point of what remains of what used to be the mountain. I'm not sure what the mountain was called or volcano. I think it's Newberry Volcano, because I believe it's still called that. I don't know if the mountain itself had a name or just was called that. So let's get into the journey and check it out. So this first place we took a journey to is called Lavabu, and it's just like one of the many cinder cones in the area. It had lava, or magma I guess, rising towards the surface. It got trapped between a couple sedimentary layers of the earth, which caused it to raise in the middle. Obviously it eventually punctured through and erupted. They estimate it to be about 7,000 years ago was its last eruption. Pretty incredible. We got to take a walk around some of the trails at the bottom through all the, I believe there's some obsidian, I'm not sure how much, but mainly just hardened lava. Some really cool tree molds that were formed when trees were still there. The lava hardened kind of around the tree. The tree eventually died due to the heat from the lava as it dried, is the word I'm looking for. So as they dried, the trees deteriorated and left these real cool cones in the lava. We also were able to take a drive up to the top, as you'll see here. Really cool. I believe it's only about 5,000, just under 5,200 feet in elevation from the base. So the top of it being maybe 5,600 feet total. Really cool place. So check out some of this footage and tell me what you guys think. Alright, so next up on the list is Palina Peak, and it's the tallest point in the whole caldera, just under 8,000 feet. So it actually was part of what was the taller volcano at one point before it erupted. It is the tallest point that still remains, so it's pretty cool. We were actually able to go up there one night and watch a meteor shower, which was pretty incredible. I think we saw like 40 meteors in like 35 minutes or something like that. Obviously it was too dark to really get any good footage, but we were able to grab some other footage where you can actually see down there to the right the big obsidian flow, which is what we're going to get into next. Like I said, next up is the big obsidian flow, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's basically a mountain of obsidian. So 1,600 years ago when this volcano erupted, it basically hardened into glass, or black glass, which they call obsidian, and that's basically what we're hiking through. This volcano is actually estimated to erupt every 1,500 years, so keep your eye out. It might actually go off in the next few years, which would be really cool to see. This night on our journey, this guy actually decided to bless us with one of the most beautiful sunsets I've actually ever seen. Which brings me to the next segment of our video, which is the sunsets. Were absolutely incredible there. Like, look at that. When have you ever seen a sky look like that? So this next place we were able to visit was called the High Desert Museum, and it was absolutely incredible. I've always wanted to see a golden eagle. That and the bald eagle are my favorite animals on the planet, like a lot of people. And they actually had a raptor show, and I was able to see a golden eagle right in front of me in slow motion. I took a video. I mean, he was 10 feet from me, if that, and it was absolutely incredible. Something I'd absolutely recommend going to see if you're ever in like the Bend, central Oregon area. They had some other things. They had some otters, obviously a ton of birds. They had owls, hawks, falcons, all sorts of birds of prey. They fly them around over our heads. I actually had a turkey vulture like almost touch my face with how big its wing was, come right past us. At the end of the show, they bring up the birds and you're able to walk up as they hold them, and was able to get, I mean, about as close as I am to this camera to the golden eagle that we got to see. And he was just eating mouse after mouse the whole time we were talking. So incredible to experience. So like I said, that was the next thing we were able to get into there, and let me know if it's something you guys think you'd like to experience. All right, I hope you're not scared of the dark. So this next place we visited was called Lava River Cave. You could probably figure out what it is just from the name. So basically, there was a river of lava running. It formed a channel like in the earth because of how hot it was. The top of it had a chance to harden before the middle or bottom of it did. So after the top had hardened, the center and the rest of it kind of cleared out as it moved through. Hardened before the beginning, so the middle of it basically stayed hollow, turned it into a cave. Something else though, it's very, very cold in there. Next up here is Smith Rock State Park, and unfortunately we did not have near as much time here as we would have liked to. We wanted to go on back and get to some of the hundreds of miles on hiking trails, but we were only there for a couple hours and we were able to get some really cool shots here. But like I said, we didn't get to do too much exploring. There are a ton of eagles in the area. Unfortunately, we didn't see any that day, and due to some of that construction, as you see down there, just weren't able to pull off as much as we would have liked to this time.
Crater Lake National Park. It was awesome. And on our way there, we actually stopped at a place called Tokatee Falls, which in my opinion is like what you picture, I guess, when you think of like an Oregon waterfall, just like coming out of the side of a mountain. Really incredible. Some of my favorite drone footage I've ever seen and or captured. Go ahead and show you guys some of that right here. Like I said, it was called Tokatee Falls. It's about 30 minutes, maybe 20 miles from Crater Lake National Park. It was unfortunately 30 minutes past Crater Lake for us, so it added an additional hour of driving, which gave us less time to explore the places, because it was a couple hours from where we were, but we were able to make it over there and explore that a little bit. There was some like cliff jumping you could do if you were able to hike down to the bottom. We weren't prepared for that, so that day we weren't able to make that happen. But like I said, we had lunch here at Crater Lake National Park, which was really, really cool. Super cool to think that it was at one point a 14,000 foot mountain that collapsed into itself and now is only, I think, at like 8,000 feet at the toppest part of whatever is left of the mountain, which is now the caldera. The lake being just about 6 miles wide across, and at its deepest point is about 2,000 feet deep. So kind of insane. I believe it's the deepest freshwater lake in the United States, second in the world, if I am correct. So like I said, that was the last thing we were able to do while we were there in Oregon. Really, really cool. I definitely recommend like Central Oregon as a spot to check out, as a full-time RVer or someone who likes to travel a lot. Definitely during the winter even as well. They have lots of snow resorts up at Mount Bachelor and things like that. So thanks for sticking with me through the whole video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure you hit that subscribe and notification bell before you head on out. So until next time, stay sandy, my friends.